All right, history buffs, it is said that history is written by the winners, and sometimes I will propose by total liars who have no allegiance to the truth at all. You ever look at historical records and think, wow, that's totally legit? No? Me neither. I mean, half of history before the 1800s reads like a fever dream mixed with a bad sci-fi script. So today on Waffle Ladders, we're diving into 10 reasons why history before the 1800s seems about as real as my New Year's resolution to stop eating cookies. Are you ready? Let's climb the ladder. Number 10, the timeline doesn't even make sense. So you're telling me that humans spent thousands of years throwing rocks at each other. Then in like 5 minutes, they suddenly build the Great Pyramids. And after that, nothing again for like another 3,000 years. And then boom, suddenly we have telescopes, steam engines, and the printing press. What in the world was happening in those intervening centuries? Were people just lazy? Sounds a little too convenient. Like somebody copy-pasted civilization progress and inserted it into the history books, but then forgot to check if everything made sense. You know, speaking of the pyramids, Number 9, no one knows how the pyramids were built, and they still look incredible. The pyramids are 4,500 years old, or so they say, but they somehow look better than most buildings made in the last 50 years. Some of these stones weigh 30 tons, and you're telling me it just took a lot of guys working real hard to move them into perfect alignment with no power at all? I've got an experiment for you. Get all your friends together and try to pick up your house. I'll wait. All right, needless to say, construction today doesn't seem to be made to last. How is that possible? Power tools, trains, and trucks, but guys with ropes and pulleys were way better? Ask an expert on heavy construction how he'd move this 900-ton block and raise it 20 feet and line it up perfectly with the other stones. He'll tell you, beats me. So if we can't figure out how they built these structures without aliens, time travelers, or a help desk at the Egyptian Home Depot, what are we missing? Some unknown technology, if you ask me. Number 8, the strange gaps in technological advancement. Why did some ancient technology seem incredibly advanced, only for progress to suddenly halt for centuries? The Antikythera mechanism, circa the 2nd century BC, was a mechanical computer with moving gears which mimicked the solar system motions and was lost for 1,000 years. Or how about Roman concrete, used in 150 BC, which is stronger than modern concrete, apparently forgotten until the 20th century. Must have lost the recipe under the Colosseum ruins. And how about steam engines, first mentioned in ancient Greece, but somehow not reinvented until the 1700s? Did we really use all that knowledge, or was history rearranged? Number 7, people just randomly stopped building castles one day. Okay, for hundreds of years, everyone was building castles with moats, secret tunnels, and giant fortresses and hidden passages. Then one day in the 1700s, we just stopped? We just got tired of these glorious structures, I guess. But hey, we were building fantastic stuff in the late 1800s. Those cabins were practically indestructible. Am I right? So yeah, sure, it all makes total sense, and not at all like someone just made the whole Middle Ages up. Number 6, the questionable reliability of ancient historians. Did you ever play that game where you whisper something to someone, and then they whisper to the next guy in line, and it goes all the way around the room? Of course, at the end of the line, it's not even close to the original, right? So let's apply that principle over thousands of years. Most of what we know about ancient history comes from a handful of people. People like Herodotus, Tacitus, and Pliny the Elder. But here's my issue. They weren't eyewitnesses. They relied on oral accounts and secondhand information. Many of them openly admitted to exaggerating or making things up for political reasons. A quote from Herodotus, who is actually dubbed the father of history, is quoted as supposedly saying, quote, "I am obliged to tell what is said, but I am not obliged to believe it," unquote. Not exactly confidence inspiring. Number 5, the problem with historical maps. You remember these guys? Yeah, they weren't very fun. They were kind of cool, actually. You get all your around, you look at your roads, and yeah, we don't use that anymore. We got GPS, right? But what about old maps? Some maps from the 1400s and earlier show land masses that weren't discovered until centuries later. The Piracy map 1513 depicts Antarctica before it was officially found in 1820. That's odd. The Vinland map suggests that Europeans knew about North America long before Columbus. And did you know that many maps show California as 2 land masses? How about Friesland? Ever hear about that one? It was shown on multiple maps off the coast of Iceland, but now it's nowhere to be found. Strange, right? Were ancient explorers more advanced than we thought? Or were these maps based on hidden knowledge that someone tried to erase? Atlantis, anyone?
Dad?
Yeah.
Here's your package. It says it's from Historical Skeptics.
Oh, yes. This is my ancient scroll decoder, which I'm going to use to decode this baby tonight. Oh, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be very exciting.
You know, wouldn't it have been better to record this episode after you decoded the scroll?
Sit down. Number 4, the suspicious lack of original documents. Almost everything we know about ancient history comes from copies of copies. The originals, gone. Destroyed in fires, lost in wars, conveniently just missing. And who do we rely on for these copies? Medieval monks, royal scribes, and whoever happened to be in power when the official history was being rewritten. Do you believe that no one ever fudged, exaggerated, or even completely made up events to suit their purposes? It's not called his story for nothing. Number 3, the destruction of knowledge centers. History just isn't missing randomly. It seems like whenever humanity reaches a certain level of knowledge, something catastrophic happens. Let's go down the list. The Library of Alexandria burned down, destroying countless ancient records. Yet we know what happened and what was in it? They claim hundreds of thousands of scrolls were destroyed. Hundreds of thousands. That's a lot. The Mayan codices, systematically burned by Spanish conquerors. And the story goes that they greatly regretted doing it. Sure they did. Or how about the House of Wisdom in Baghdad, destroyed in the Mongol invasion? They destroyed thousands of manuscripts, instruments, and maps. It's almost as if history is being reset every few centuries. Number 2, star forts are suddenly everywhere, then nowhere. Oh, star forts, those charmingly complex, geometrically delightful structures that popped up everywhere for a hot minute. Then all of a sudden, no one was building them. Did they lose the blueprints? You find these beauties on like every continent. North America, check. Africa, check. Asia, check. South America, double check. It's as if everyone got the same build a star fort memo, and then all of a sudden they collectively decided, nah, let's do squares. So they allegedly built most of them from 1500 to 1700, and then someone sent out a worldwide stoppage memo. Not likely. And don't even get me started on the why. No one knows. Without any global communication system, how did everyone know what to build? It's a global architectural flash mob with no explanation. Very convenient history. Very convenient. And lastly, number 1, the sudden explosion of official records in the 1800s. Why do historical records conveniently explode after the 1800s? Suddenly we have precise dates, photographs, and detailed accounts. But before that, mostly legends, rewritten stories, and inconsistent records. And historical artifacts are rarely attributed to a discovery date before the 1800s. I visited the British Museum, and they have a large exhibit room with thousands of artifacts. I checked the signage and I couldn't find a single item that was found before 1830. Does that make sense? Why weren't things found in the 1700s or the 1600s? It's almost as if it's all made up. So there you have it. Is history fake? How would I know? I wasn't there, and neither were any of you. Well, not counting vampires. It just seems there are too many things that don't add up. But if a bunch of medieval monks made it all up to mess with us, honestly, respect. We just ask that you like and subscribe if we earned it, and comment below before they change the date on the video, or it mysteriously disappears. And as always, keep climbing. And in the morning, I'm making waffles.